I can get it right. I'm gonna go where the winners go. 'Cause sailing ain't an option, no, it ain't in my blood.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Mondays Beyond the Mic. I am your host, Dr. Elaine. This is the place where we tell the truth, even when it's uncomfortable, so that men and women can learn and grow together. So I want to say that we have some disclaimers. So a part of that is we're here for your entertainment purposes and educational purposes only. We also want to say welcome to our new viewers. And if you've been with us, we say thank you for returning. So we are excited about tonight and where we are going. So again, tonight, as the disclaimer, is about our for entertainment and educational purposes only. We have house rules. As we know, everything has rules. So our house rules are respect, respect, respect. So if disrespect is displayed on the platform or in the chat, we will have to remove individuals. And we don't want to do that because remember, what did I say earlier? We want to learn and grow together. So we have to be respectful of one another while we're having these conversations. So with that being said, I am so excited I normally would say at this part of the show, welcome my co-host, but as you can see, I'm here by my lonesome, but not for long because I have a panel tonight because tonight is he said, she said. So we would like to welcome and see who's talking to us in the chat so that we can say hello. So Mama Rosa said, good evening, Dr. Elaine. I just wanted to wish you a great show, doing homework as normal. But guess what? You got this. Love you. So thank you, Mama Rosa. And I can't do it like your daughter would do it, but she is truly missed. And so thank you. And Anae, she said, hey, at Bravo with Sheila Network. And hey, Anae, we love Anae and we thank you, Anae, for everything that you do for the Bravo with Sheila Network and Mondays Beyond the Mic. She said, hey, Dr. Elaine. And as I said, hey, there is no one like Anae, and we truly love and appreciate you. Thank you. Whew. So tonight, we have guests. Tonight, we're going to have conversations. Bravo with Sheila said, please hit that thumbs up button. We want you to hit, you see it looks like that, hit that thumbs up button for us to let the people know that you like it. Even if you're in the expensive seats, we ask that you hit that like button for us. So we like the like button. We like you to subscribe. And we love super chats. So we're asking that if you can, just hit that like button as you come in. And throughout the show, we'll ask and hey, if you've ever joined us, we never know what's going to happen on Mondays Beyond the Mic. But what we can say is it'll definitely be funny. It'll definitely be entertaining. And you will walk away learning something. So Reginald, he said, aloha, Dr. Elaine. Hope you're doing well. I am doing well, Reginald. And thank you for asking. And the joy of living with Dr. Joy. So, hey, Dr. Joy, she said, have a wonderful segment. I truly appreciate that. And Lisa Jefferson, 631, said, hi, Dr. Elaine, looking forward to tonight's conversation. Oh, I got both. I got mommy and daughter. So, hey, how are you? And thank you for joining. I love it. I'm excited about tonight because we've heard about many things like, I want a relationship. And then we've heard about situationships. So tonight's episode is for anyone who's ever asked themselves. I think we've all asked this question. What are we? You've been with someone and you're like, what are we? We've been spending time together. We've been texting. You might even be exclusive, but there's no title. There's no clarity and no commitment. Is it a relationship or are you stuck in a situationship? So I'm not going to answer these questions. We're going to bring up some men and we're going to have some women and we're going to have some dialogue. And hopefully by the end of tonight, you will have clarity. If you are in a relationship, a situationship, I think clarity is the key. That's what I think. I think clarity is definitely the key. So today we're going to break down the differences, the red flags, the emotional toll, and the importance of how to choose clarity over confusion because grown people don't guess where they stand. I'll say that again for those in the back. Grown people don't guess where they stand. So guess what? I'm going to give you some time. You know what you can do? Grab your coffee because we might spill some tea, but you can grab your tea and your truth. So this tonight, we're going to be talking about relationship versus situationship. I think it's a great time to start to bring up our guests. And we wanted, I see there's some people coming in the chat, but hey, Dr. Shana, she's no stranger. She has been a part of our panel on Mondays Beyond the Mic with these he said, she said segments. So welcome, Dr. Shana. How are you?
Good evening. Good evening. I am well, Dr. Elaine. Thank you. I'm excited about this conversation this evening.
And we're excited to have you. So we have a newbie on Mondays Beyond the Mic in terms of for our panel. So we have Tony James. He's joining us. So he's going to be on the he says side. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing well. How's everybody doing? Glad to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you. So we're going to be gentle. So we know this is your first time on the show.
yeah. Please be gentle.
Okay, that is, and you be careful. Okay,
I will.
we see that you're driving. So,
Yeah.
and we have she's no stranger. She's no stranger. Trey, the songstress, the songwriter. We appreciate you. Thank you, Trey, for being here. How are you?
I ain't gonna be gentle. He's about to get it real rough. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm just playing.
Well, we thank you for Trey being Trey. So we love it. I think we have a few more. The gentlemen are going to jump on, but eventually you're going to have some backup. So right now it looks like, Tony, they left you out here for a minute, but we're going to be gentle. So we have a few people.
Not.
Oh, okay. All right. So the women have spoken. So let me just ask this as an icebreaker kind of question. In one word, what comes to mind when you hear situationship? And that's for anyone.
Confusion.
Confusion. Okay.
I would say what comes to my mind is non-committal.
Non-committal. Okay. All right. So we got another Tyson Hall. Thank you, T Hall, for joining. So Tony's not out here by himself since he's the newbie on the show. So the question was, in one word, what comes to mind when you hear situationship?
I think convenience.
Convenience. Okay. Tyson?
Situationship. It could also be like, to me, like one of the first things that come to my mind is like a precursor to a relationship.
Okay. Okay. All right. So
before we get there, we at this level, and then, we could be working towards moving on or.
Okay. All right. I'm not, I see some blinking happening on the other side, but I'm not going to.
Right, exactly.
So let me ask this. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. No, I ain't said nothing.
So let me ask this. Do you think it benefits more from who do you think benefits more from a situationship? Men, women, or emotionally unavailable people?
I think all could benefit from it.
Absolutely.
Depending on who you are and where you at.
Okay.
Some people, like I'll give you an example. If you're coming out of, let's just say you're coming out of a divorce, right? And emotionally, you're not ready to be in a relationship, right? But you do want some companionship. You might find yourself in a situationship.
Well, that's a situationship is when people don't know. Like if I'm coming out of a divorce and I don't want a relationship, then I need to be clear with that. So I don't put a person in a situation that they don't know they're in. I need to say, I'm coming out of a divorce.
Right.
I'm not interested in a relationship. So
correct.
Ain't no situation because we all know what's going on.
Well, I mean, I guess the situationship is kind of like just a title for that, what you just described.
No, a situationship is when people
Exactly.
are unclear. When people are unclear, when most people in a situationship, from one person's perspective, they think they're in a relationship, and the other person is not willing to give clarity.
Well, that's not fair.
And that's
Situationship,
what makes it, and that's what makes it a situationship, because it's a
right?
situation, so to speak.
Oh, well, okay. So
Right.
then I had a misinterpretation of it then, because I believe that, like, if you provide the clarity and both parties are okay with it, you know what I mean, and some understanding, one might be potentially wanting to move forward with a relationship, but if I provide the clarity for you and say, listen, this is where I'm at, this is what it is, to me, then that lies within the situationship.
No,
Accept it or don't accept it. It's a choice.
yeah, no, that's not a situationship because I clearly know where you at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Right.
All right. So then I was under the wrong impression of what that actually meant.
Right, doctor? Doctors?
So Trey, you hit it right on. So relationship is built on clarity. That's the key, right? And consistency and courage. That's key. So situationship strives on ambiguity, convenience, and silence. So we have to be like, as grown folks, we have to be very intentional when we're speaking about relationships. And to your point, you started out by saying, hey, if I just came out of a relationship, I was just in, I'm recently divorced. These are conversations that you had. You're providing clarity.
That's clarity. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and you're being consistent, and you're being very clear with what the expectation is, and you're intentional, right?
Mm-hmm.
Situationship is not that, it's ambiguous. And we, at this point in time in our lives, we do not need ambiguity.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing the difference is important so
Yes.
that we can honor ourselves enough to choose accordingly.
Yeah. Situationship is not nice.
Right. No, it's not. Because what you described is Ty. Is it Ty? I don't have
Yeah.
my.
You.
Mhm.
Yeah, so what you described is more of friends with benefits out rather than a situationship. Like if me and you kicking it because you just got out of something, I just got out of something, and we clear.
Right.
This
Right.
what we doing, I
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
need some.
That wouldn't constitute a situationship. No.
No, that's friends with benefits.
Okay. I got it all
We done
screwed
made a
up.
decision, boo, that we gonna be doing it,
Uh huh.
and ain't
Ain't
no commitment here, but we both know it.
correct. Right. Okay. So I thought that was a situationship too. I stand to be corrected. I'm glad I logged on.
No, we good.
Well,
No,
we're glad you logged on as well, sir.
anything with clarity is not a situationship.
Got you.
Situationships is most of the time women are in situationships because I'm gonna tell you why we in the situation. Because once we start, and that y'all need to hear this, all the fellas that's listening, so you know you won't end up in a relationship that you don't know you in. If you sleep with me, you my man. If you spend ample amount of time with me, you my man. And I'm just saying this as not me in particular, but women. We assume after we start to give ourselves to you that you belong to us unspoken. But we're here to teach the women tonight. If the brother ain't claim you and you ain't had a conversation, either you friends with benefits or you in a situationship. So if there was no conversation, boo, and you're wondering what we are, you're in a situationship. So, and most of the time, is women are in situationships because men don't assume I'm in a relationship because you guys are the hunters and you'll say, I'm ready to move to the next level. Let's be exclusive. Would you marry me? So, women, again, men, brothers, understand this. And I'm speaking for myself and most of the women. If I give you some booty, you my man. If you at my house all the time and I'm at yours, you my man. So in this stage in my life, I'm clear with that with men. Yeah, I'm not just sleeping with you. I don't just sleep around. So let's be clear.
So let me, before we go any further, I want to go back to something I said earlier. When you're spending time together, you're texting daily and you feel like you're exclusive, but there's no title, there's no clarity, and there's no commitment.
Right.
So that's a part of the situationship.
That
We're
women
doing
be
things
in.
that look like a relationship,
Yes.
but there has been no clarity on what we are.
Right. And there's some assumptions.
So Trey, I'm gonna push back a little bit, because there are some women who do, as you just spoke, you shared that most men do that. There are women I've spoken with who do the same thing,
Oh,
unlike what you just.
Oh, definitely there's women, but I said most, not all. There's some women out here that got some male tendencies. But because, and we can have this conversation, because women operate different than men. We're driven by emotion. So when we give ourselves to you emotionally, we kind of sort of think that you're reciprocating, and sometimes it's not that for men, because men are tactical. I'm trying to figure out, and they may have a bird in the bush and two in a hen, whatever to say. They may have a few women in the roster that they trying to figure out who they want to bring home to mama.
So and the women should do the same thing too.
Oh yes.
With dating, it should be very intentional, because we women are multipliers.
Yes. Well, we should, but unfortunately, the majority of us are just learning this in our 50s. No, because everybody was telling us if you got more than one man in the roster, you a hoe.
Exactly.
The man wasn't a hoe.
But again, it goes back to being clear, right? Providing clarity and saying, hey, I'm dating you, I'm dating other folks, because I'm trying to see what my options are. Just like you said, the men are doing it. So we should be able to do that off. And we should not be able to. We should be doing that as well.
Word.
Looking at options.
Word.
Okay.
Tyra Banks said it best. She said men throw out a net, right? And they scoop up a whole bunch of fish. Women use a pole and they catch one fish at a time. And the man decides what fish he gonna keep as he gets to know them. And we gotta learn a little bit better to fish with a net as opposed to a pole.
Well, what, okay, thank you. Gentlemen, what do you think? That was a lot.
I think it's valid. I think, as was said, some women do operate in that space, whether it's learned behavior, or whatever the case may be. I believe it can go both ways. I also believe that women are wired differently, and that's why the emotional aspect kicks in, as opposed to the way in which men are wired, where, we're external, you guys are internal. And so that's one of the things that causes us to move in a different light.
Okay.
I always think what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Okay. Mr. Tony.
Yes. My question would be then, so how would you turn a situationship into a relationship? I know the key words are intentional or non-intentional. And I know men and women are wired differently. But how would you turn a situationship into a relationship?
Start out by being very clear and intentional. Yep. Share what you're looking for. I won't use the term expectations, but just be very clear and intentional with your conversation around, listen, this is what I'm looking for. What are you looking for? That way you're very clear and you're having those discussions so that everybody is on one accord. That turns it into more of a relationship than a situationship.
And be willing to walk away.
Yeah. And that's key. You have to be willing to walk away, because a lot of times, for something to turn into a situationship, there had to be feelings in a relationship to start. Because there's a fine line between in a relationship. The key word is, like you said, the key word is intentional. The key word is intentional. And sometimes people can start out with the right intentions in a relationship or while they're dating, and end up in a situationship.
So
Yeah.
um,
Hmm.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no. So let me just ask this, or put this, or throw this in there. At what point? Because when you're talking about situationships, um, people hear things like, "Let's see where this goes,"
Nope.
right? Which means there's no clarity, but let's see where this goes. Does that become a red flag? I know we got people talking in the chat, so I want to make sure that we talk to the people in the chat. But think about that. Um, if someone says, "Let's see where this goes," what are your thoughts, man, or male or female?
The way I look at it, I can speak for myself as a 59-year-old divorced male that you know I'm single, and one of the things, if you meet someone and you're dating, and you push the can down the road, so to speak. Let's date, let's see how it goes. And if one person starts having feelings and the other person doesn't, it's where the situationship comes into play. Because I've seen situations where in my past I can love someone way on cloud nine, and they're over here on cloud two with me, or vice versa. They're on cloud nine with me, and I'm on cloud two with them. So a lot of times, you can be intentional from the beginning. You both can agree on, hey, let's push this can down the road. Let's see how this goes, so to speak, and end up in a in a situationship, not being intentional. And because affairs of the heart, you can't control something. Some people, when you're in a relationship, when you're dating, you never can tell which way it's going to go. Once she starts having feelings, or once he starts having feelings. I've seen it work both ways. I have seen it work both ways,
But
and we can end
No,
up being in a situationship.
yeah,
And,
at
and,
our
and,
age, none of us,
yeah,
and I'm 56. There's not even a chance I'm going to end up in a situationship because I'm clear with what I want. Like, and this is not, I'm going to sit down on my first date and be like, I want to get married. But I'm clear with where I'm going so that I don't end up in a situationship. Like, again,
More than one man in the rock.
what are your intentions? That's the question. What are your intentions? Do you ever? I know, like you said, Tony, you were married and divorced. I was married and divorced. My question, if we went on a date, would be: do you ever intend to get married again? Because you may never want to get married again. So I really don't want. We could kick it, but I'm gonna tell you, my intention is that I want to be married again. I'm somebody's wife, so I'm trying to get to know a man now in my life, and we got more time behind us than we got in front of us, and I want somebody to grow old with. So at our big old ages, we need to be intentional and have real conversations early in the relationship. Because you could
yeah.
say to me, Trey, I'm dating multiple women, and I still might say to you, okay, well, we can still go out to dinner, cool, but I know it ain't going nowhere. So we just have to be really intentional, and that way none of us will end up in a situationship. But we have to watch out for manipulators who'll tell you anything because they want to get the draws. And that goes for men and women, because women have needs too.
amen. Amen. Trey, you hit it right on the head. Tony, you said something that was key. And I think, when you're in relationships and trying to figure it out, being able to walk away takes courage, and doing just that, like standing up and saying, hey, I'm not about this. Like Trey said, these are my intentions in a relationship. I'm looking for a marriage. I'm looking for a partner for life. And hey, this might have been fun, but this is not what I'm looking for down the line, because there may be some of those hidden agendas that we may not initially see. But being able to say, this is not what I'm looking for. And to Tony's point, and to be able to say, I'm going to walk away, that takes courage.
Well, you,
Absolutely.
you know, you said something else in regards to, if a gentleman says to you, I'm dating multiple people, right? And you might very much say, well, okay, cool, we could kick it. All right. So I say, you know what? Listen, boom, I got this. They opening up the Studio Museum of Harlem. Let's go. Right. And then, 2 weeks from later, I say, you know what? This is going on in Brooklyn. Let's go. You know, And then so who's to say that, you know, you don't take the lead over those other women? And I find myself, you know, in more in a space where you are at and more wanting to be with you. Like you can't just say blanketly that it's not gonna go nowhere.
I didn't say it wasn't gonna go anywhere.
No,
I'm
no,
just
no. I'm just
yeah.
talking about like it like the idea of that, because I initially at the time when we first met, I'm saying this, but now as we progress, I'm like, wait a minute, she's the gem, she's the jewel. So it's not like it can't happen.
Oh yeah, it can, but you need to be clear on that too. That's a conversation that you have to be adult enough to have with me to say, hey, in the beginning, I really thought I didn't want to be in a relationship, but I'm feeling some kind of way right now because I'm moving on in my mind because you told me you wanted to kick it, so I'm cool with that. But if your
Hmm.
feelings change and evolve, and you see that we really got a lot of things in common, and it's going
Hmm.
another direction, we're grown. We're grown enough to have that conversation.
Hmm.
To see your intention and how you're moving evolve to the point where I see, this maybe this just matured you, or it took away your fear from your ex-wife or your ex-girl who did this and
Hmm.
all is this and that. Because sometimes we do go into relationships because the last person
Right.
never getting married again because old boy did this to me. I'm just not in that state of mind because I've done the work on myself to say I'm not going to let the last dude
Hmm.
me from my husband for the rest of my life because he wasn't right. So you
Hmm.
may evolve, or all of us may change our mind. And even I might not like you. I might go into the situation and we thinking we going somewhere, and then I see some things in you later down the road, and I'm just like, I don't like him no more. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm
Hmm.
not feeling you like that, like I in the beginning, because that, and the other happened. So we're gonna come across the road where there's a time when we say this person is worth the effort, or this person, nah, I'm not wasting no more time.
Oh, thank you. So first, we want to welcome Mike. So Mike, I kind of think you hear what we're talking about. But bravo, what Sheila says. We got 20 people watching, and 7 thumbs up. So all we need you to do is just go like that. Hit that thumbs up button for us, please, to let us know that you appreciate us. And I know we have some comments in the chat. So, Mike, what would you like to add to this conversation?
I don't know if I can add anything. I think everybody was pretty much on point. I agree with Tony a lot with Tony, Trey also. But everything is a situation, right? No matter what, whether the situation is that you're working towards marriage, whether the situation is that you're assessing the relationship, is the situation. I think a lot of times women want definite answers before they enter into anything, and that's where it kind of um, complicates or frustrates the situation a lot. A
Okay.
lot of times, women will say, "Well, this is what I'm looking for." Okay, the situation is that I am looking for the same things, but I can't say that you are it, and nor can you say that I am it. This is the situation. Let's date and let's see what it is.
Okay, I like that. Let's go to the comments. We're going to read some comments, and then I have this question that I'm going to start with the gentleman, but we're going to read these comments, and I want the gentleman to think about this question. When a man says, I'm not ready for a relationship, what does he really mean? Just think about it. So, the joy of living with Dr. Joy says, hey, my girl, love Dr. Shana. We love her too. Now, and then we have, who else is up here? We have quite a few comments. Proud American says he's driving a cab for the podcast. Have no idea. Anae said, hey, at Trey. She said, hey, at Proud American. Lee says, hey, everyone, all of the above. She was talking about her earlier question. Then she says, I'm sorry, I misunderstood emotionally unavailable people to an earlier question. The joy of living with Dr. Joy. Share the thoughts on putting everything on the table. so no time is wasted. Totally agreed. And Dr. Joy says also both sides need to have increased discernment. Okay. All right. So, gentlemen, I'll read the question again. When a man says, I'm not ready for a relationship, what does he usually mean?
Pretty much what he said. You know what I mean? Like, straightforward. That's not a hard one to decipher. It doesn't mean that he's not open for a relationship or willing to get into a relationship, but just at this time he's not ready for one.
Okay. All right.
If any man even takes the time to approach a woman and wants to, let's just say, exchange phone numbers, or wants to even say, let's go out on a date, it means something to him.
Okay.
Whether he wants the quick in and out or whether he's ready for a long term. Right? However he goes about attaining his goals, that's on him. Right?
Okay.
But if he's straightforward enough, like we all know at this stage in the game, if you say I'm not ready for a relationship, it doesn't not necessarily mean that I am not interested in getting into a relationship.
But would you say if
that
he's
make
not
any
ready with that person?
And I agree, but I'll also say this, speaking as a man, I guess I'm telling on myself here, but sometimes when you tell a woman that, or if a woman tells a man that, that means they're probably not ready for a relationship with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because you look down the road and she's in a relationship with some guy, or he's in a relationship with another woman, and you're thinking like, hey, he said he wasn't ready for a relationship. And it could be a number of different things. It could be financial. It could be coming through a divorce or a previous relationship where he's trying to heal himself. And I think we've all been through that before. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I got another question for the men. So I just want the men to answer. Can a man genuinely care about a woman but still keep her in a situationship?
Yes.
Yes.
Mike said yes with no hesitation.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. See,
and the thing is, you guys are talking about the term situationship like it's all negative. It's not all negative. It is the situation that we're in. The two of us make a situation. If you want to,
Mike, I'm going to disagree.
Mike came in late. I think one of the gentlemen should share what situationship means.
Yeah.
That's what it means to you. I heard your definition of situationship. That's what it means to you. But a situationship is the situation that you're in at the moment. Okay, whether that be you're moving forward, you have goals, or you do not have a goal. Okay, that's the situation. It's up to those two people that are in that type of relationship to
that's
either.
Not a relationship.
Pardon?
A part of that.
You said it's up to those two people that's in that relationship. That's not a relationship. That's why we're clarifying.
Everything is a relationship. The fact that I'm talking to you right now we sharing a relationship. We're sharing relations. That's a relationship.
No, we're not. We're sharing a conversation. I don't know you.
But look, okay. We're relating to each other.
Mike with clarity, please.
So wait, Mike, hold on. So when we started at the top of the show and we're talking about a situationship, it's about not providing clarity in where a woman or man, right? You're talking to this person.
I get it. I heard the definition. Okay. I just don't agree wholeheartedly with the definition. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. All right. And that's fair.
But you're not in a relationship with everybody you come in contact with.
I understand that in the relationship, in the sense that a man and a woman are considering each other. No, we're not in that type of relationship, but we are relating in some way. That is a relationship.
No, that's not. I'm not in a relationship with you right now. I don't know you. I may never see you in my life again. I haven't built anything with you. I'm not in a relationship with you. I'm in a relationship with Dr. Elaine because
Okay.
we know each other. We talk on a regular basis. We building something with each other all the time. I'm not in a relationship with you. We're having a
Okay.
conversation, but we're
Okay.
in no way, no how in any type of relationship.
You got it.
And
Okay.
I mean, if anybody, am I crazy? I mean, I'm just saying
No. You're not crazy.
So
I can't.
We just
I
trying to
think.
get clarity on relationship and situationship for people who listening, and we don't want everybody to think that everybody that you come in contact with and have a conversation with, we're in a relationship, because we're not.
You share some type of relationship when you are on the job and you work with you have a work
that's a work
relationship.
relationship,
Right.
and there's still some
we
time
have
put in.
Yeah, it's
So
time for
I
them
think
every day because I got to see them people every day.
Right.
I got to work with them hand in hand because we got to put projects and we're all attaining the same goal in that job. That's a work relationship, but everybody I come in contact with,
So
if I see a man at the laundromat, I'm not in a relationship with him.
Okay. No, I didn't mean it in that sense. You're taking it to the extreme now. But all I'm saying is,
let me just interject. So I know we
yeah,
have, I'm
sure.
sorry, Mike. We have some people in the chat, and I want to make sure that we're including them. Please, as you're coming in, if you have not done so, just hit that thumbs up button as you're coming in. It means much to Mondays Beyond the Mic and Bravo with Sheila Network. If you're enjoying this conversation, hey, Lady Dawn B, she says, hey, fam, miss y'all. We miss you too, lady. But thank you. And Anae said, hey, Mike. And Paris says, good evening, all. Good evening, Paris. Thank you for joining us. Paris says, yes, sir, not a relationship with you. Paris says, I'm coming in late, but do have a question. Why do men act up and months, years later, they want to come back? If I let you go, why do you think I want you back? So why do men act up and months and years, sorry, I got it. Why do men act up and then months and years later they come back and say, I want you back? So help the women out. Why do men circle the block? That's basically why are you coming back?
The roster gets low.
The roster gets low. Okay, that's one answer. Tyson.
That goes back to the net versus the.
Well, Shayna, let the answer us.
We might want to come back because we can't find anybody else to put our BA, go back to the one put up with it. So that might be an answer.
Okay, at least that's honest. So it may come back because
Being
nobody
honest,
else will put up with them, and they think you will.
Yep.
Tyson?
Not saying I would have done that though. Not saying that.
I don't know. You may have. It's crazy because I had an ex that I was dating who acted up and circled the block. You may have realized that the grass wasn't as green on the other side.
Okay. Trey gave us the church hum. Okay. So Paris says, clearly Mike defines a relationship differently, but I get his point of view. All right. Thank you, Paris.
Thank you,
Paris says, but I am with Miss Trey on the definition.
I get you. So am I.
I think it's important. I think that's an important point to identify with, because like Mike had his interpretation, I came on with my interpretation, and now we're hearing this common thread from the women's interpretation. Right. And so then if there are these misinterpretations on what this situationship means, then there will always be a misunderstanding on how to move forward, or I'm doing this right and I'm not doing this right. What's wrong with you, or you're not giving me what I need. But if we don't, am I making sense?
Yeah,
definitely. So it's a point of communication and clarification in this whole thing, because I think what happens to Trey's earlier point we as women, if I'm spending time with you every day, if we're texting, if we're going out, we're doing all the things that we define as a relationship, but you as the man has not said, I want to take this further. I want us to be in a relationship. So in our minds, and I think sometimes there's a disservice that most little girls grew up with the dolls and, Ken and Barbie, and we want them to get married. And we have this fantasy where most boys have the Tonka truck and you're like, zoom, boom. And so we're already playing house.
Yeah.
When you're not. So I do think
Mm-hmm.
that piece of being clear in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning to say, what are we? And if someone says, let's see where this goes, then I think whoever, male or female, we deserve the right to say, no, I need you to tell me, do you see us going here or not? Because then if that's not what you want, if I want to get married and you don't, then we're wasting time, because even if you don't want to marry me, but if you don't want to get married, then we're already starting on an unequal playing field.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make
One of
sense?
the things
That makes perfect
one of the
sense.
things the guy said was that men are clear. I'm not ready for a relationship. The problem with women is we start spending time with the man that said, I'm not ready for a relationship, thinking that we can convince him. So we end up in a situationship because we spending time, we going to the museum, we going to the movies, we eating, we sleeping together. So now, again, as I told the brothers to circle back, this is our assumption. You're sleeping with me, we're going places all the time together, you're my man. And most men will come in the beginning and say, I'm really not ready for a relationship. And we take that as a challenge, so to speak. Like, he wasn't ready for a relationship with that person, but this coochie or whatever I'm bringing is going to make him want that. And we have to stop doing that as women. Like, we got to be really honest with ourselves, because we all think we got the golden snatch. And that's not men. And I'm learning this from men who are in their 50s, that's not my mentality that it was when I was a younger man. Your cat don't move me like it used to. So we have to learn how to rethink some things as women, and we won't end up in situationships so much.
Agreed.
But you can't call that a situationship because he told you from the gate that
Right.
he's
But we put ourselves in a situationship.
Yes.
Right. No, I agree with that. And I think it goes back to,
we put ourselves in a situationship. Now we in it because he was already clear, but for us, that we heard what we wanted to hear. You wasn't ready to be in a relationship with her. But I'm the one. Because we all think we the one that could change a man's mind, unfortunately. And if you're not the one, you're never going to be the one. I don't care if you cook, clean, do backflips. If you're not the one, that man's not going to choose us. And we always want to think that we're the one, and we are for somebody else sometimes.
facts.
And we need to understand that when a person shows you who they are,
Amen.
and tells you their intention, you need to believe it.
Yep.
I totally agree with that.
We think we're special.
Theo, we are special. We just got to be special to the right person.
Amen.
Right.
When you find, I think if I can just say, and I'm gonna read the comment, when you find your person,
right,
Amen.
Then yes, you are special. So I think that becomes a part. We don't spend enough time trying to find our person, because there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. And I think that's where people get stuck, because people will say, I don't want to be lonely. No, I'm alone. I'm not lonely. And you're alone by choice until you find your person. I think that's where we, because to your person, you are special, and vice versa.
Yeah, but a lot of women, not all, but a lot of women think that they're special to every man that they come in contact with, because we think that men operate off of sex. Like we all think that men, that's their only intention is sex, and it's not.
No.
I mean, at our age, and the men can chime in, at our age, a man's intention is not always sex anymore. Men are thinking about the future as well. And we as women have always thought that with this vagina, I could change the world and I could get any man I want. That's not true. Now, it's not true for the mature man.
But I think, can I just say, I agree with you. I think at this stage, it has to be, are you enough for that person?
Right.
Whoever your person is, right? That person will make you feel like you're enough. And you don't
Right.
have to, and I'm gonna use the word perform. You don't have to, you're not gonna compete. He or she, vice versa, should make you so secure that when other women see you with him or vice versa, they're like, man, that's the type of relationship I want, because you adore him, he adores you, and you're not feeling like I gotta keep proving that I'm enough,
Yes.
that I'm enough. And I think that's where it goes. And then I think the other piece to it, if I could add, is as we've said, at this big old age, you have to understand the person you connect with, that's your spiritual partner. That's also your business partner. That person is your life partner in every aspect of who you are, and the next level of you, right? Because I heard something said and I thought it was really good. Well, I'll leave that. But anyway, I think that at this stage, you have to be looking to say, whoever my person is, we're willing to do this thing called life together. And I got your back, you got my back, and you're gonna always make me feel like I'm enough, and vice versa.
Amen. I love that.
All right. This has been a really great conversation. So Theo said the lesson is that the individual needs to define what the term means to them and make sure they align on what type of relationship they are in. So I absolutely, and don't take when people can tell you these things like, oh, we'll see, and whatever, and we'll see turns into 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and you still trying to see. That there needs to be some clarity with that. So Paris says, please clarify. Some women take it as a challenge. And that was something that Trey said. Yeah, some women say, oh, I could change his mind.
Yeah.
But at this point, don't do it. It's not even worth it.
Yes.
Don't waste your time.
Yep. And the thing about it too is we can't say that somebody wasted our time. Like, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. So if you let a man or a woman string you along for 3 years, he didn't waste your time. She didn't waste your time. You wasted your time, because you have to give yourself timelines and boundaries of when do I want to be married. Like I said, I'm 56. So if I'm dating somebody and I'm clear with that, I'm giving myself a timeline of, if we're not to where we say we want to be in 2 years, say, because I don't think a year is a lot of time. 12 months is not. But I do have to have a timeline. I do have to check the goalpost that time to see if we're still on the same page, because people get to change their mind as they're getting to know you. A man might not like me 6 months from now based on some of my behaviors or the different things that sometimes you get to know a person and you don't like them. But we got to check in to know that, to say, this ain't going away. But a lot of times people don't have the courage to say, I'm not really feeling you like that no more. So it'll go on and on and on until somebody start treating you so bad or distancing themselves so much that you get the hint. But sometimes we got to check the goalpost as we're going along. Are we still moving in the same direction? Because I've been with people and I got to know them 3-4 months down the road, and it was something I don't like that, and that's a non-negotiable for me, and I just had to be honest and say it.
So let me ask, I'm sorry, can I interject?
Sure.
So in that process, did you call that a situation where you were getting to know someone? You had a goal, he had a goal, and in the end, it didn't work out the same for the both of you. So wasn't that the situation? Or was that a relationship?
That was a relationship. I wasn't in a situationship, because we were clear that we were exclusive with each other. And as we got to know each other down the line in that relationship, we were compatible like we thought we were. And I was with somebody for 3 years, And the goal at the beginning, I moved in with him, and I'm just being very transparent. And I don't know if he watched it or not, but anyway, I was in a relationship with him, and the goal for us was to get married, and we both agreed to that. And he started that conversation in the beginning of the relationship. I want to get married. When both of our children were seniors, when they graduate, I want you to move in, and we want to move forward. Somewhere along the line, when I was with him, something I did or whatever it was, I have a child that's on the autism spectrum. It might have been something that he might want to be an empty nester. I'll never be. I don't know what the situation, what happened, but his feelings changed for some reason. And when I had a conversation with him and I said, okay, what are we doing? Because I was there for a year. The goal was, I'm not somebody's girlfriend. The goal was we're getting married. I said, what are we doing here? And he said to me, marriage is not in the forecast right now. And I called a realtor and I said, I need a townhouse as soon as possible. And I packed my stuff and I left. And guess what? Marriage wasn't a forecast for me with him because he went and married somebody 7 months later. Mm-hmm. And he said to me, I'm not telling you to leave. I'm not asking you to leave. Nah, bro. You said marriage ain't in the forecast. I'm out. I'm clear on that. And I packed myself, and I wasn't mad at him because people get to change their mind. And he was honest when he said marriage is not in the forecast. Like the brother said, I'm not ready to be in a relationship. I heard what he said. He wasn't marrying me. Maybe I don't know, maybe I snored or whatever it was. But I took the cue and I didn't waste my time. I said, I don't want to be in this relationship 3 years and 1 day after he said that to me. And I called a realtor. And I was out of that house in 5 weeks.
Wow. So let me.
You go, girl. I love that. That's courage, like Troy said. That takes courage to be able to move on. I love that. And more of us need to be able to do that.
In the 5 weeks, did you try and change his mind?
Nope. I'm not here to change your mind. You said what you said. You don't want me.
Amen. I love
you don't
that.
Want me. And I didn't feel like it was because something was wrong with me.
Right.
I felt like he had the right to change his mind for whatever he saw within our relationship to change his mind. I've changed my mind on people. I changed my mind on, some people I don't want you in my house. So I felt like we all have the right to change our mind.
Amen.
Not waste each other's time.
Can I say something real quick?
Sure.
Please. My grandmother used to always say, once you get to know a person, you don't want to marry them. And
I like that.
So a lot of times when you're dating, if you don't get married early in a relationship, you stay with each other 3 or 4 or 5 years, things like that happen. I've seen it happen a lot. People live together and never get married.
Well, he wasn't gonna live with me no more. I was out.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah, because once you get to know him, you don't want to marry him.
My husband out there.
Yeah, he's out there.
Let me ask this. I'm kind of going off since we have 3 men on this panel. Something my dad used to say. He used to say, it doesn't take a man all day to know if you are the one. He says within the first 3 months, he knows that you're the one he wants to marry. Now, he may not ask you to marry him in the first 3 months, but he knows you are the one. Yes or no?
That was his experience because he had a lovely experience with your mother. So he knew definitively that he wanted to marry your mother, and he did. So he can speak from that point of view, but it's not always that point of view. You may run across a woman that, as a man, I may run across a woman that, she has all the attributes that I'm looking for right now. But as time goes on, some of the behaviors that she may have exhibited in the beginning may not be there in the mid. You understand? So therefore, that time kind of diminishes the novelty of, going forward or moving on. I'm not sure, but that has happened to me also.
Okay.
Yeah, and I agree. And I agree. We do know right away. I would know. You wouldn't know whether she's wife material or not. I think at this stage of our lives, we're able to discern that. And you're going to have differences. Nobody's perfect. But you know the basic things. You know your religion, the different things that will make a marriage work. You know, are you equally yoked? You know, physically, financially, sexually, spiritually. You know, all the LYs, all those adjectives. So you would know right away in the first few weeks of knowing it. You know, and then you have to push the can down the road and see. And like I
pushing
always
that
like I said
down the
earlier,
road.
sometimes then after a while you might not want to. She might not want to marry you either. But you know,
That's
but
true.
But
Okay.
you'll definitely know. We as men, we know because you know if you love that love bug when it bites you, it bites you. I've been bit by it a couple times too in my lifetime, but
Okay.
hopefully it'll bite me again.
You said it's not going to bite you again?
He said,
I
hopefully it
think
does.
hopefully it will. Hopefully.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Theo says, and when you change your mind, you need to share that as well. So when I was ready for a relationship, we had that talk. He was not ready and we parted as friends. Okay. So that's maturity for
Yes.
sure. Paris says Tony's grandma is funny. So, and she said, Miss Trey, don't play. Kudos. All right. So this is, I guess, the part to Theo's. She said, I was in a situationship in my 30s and it was a mutual agreement. We agreed that we were kicking it, hanging out, etc., because neither was ready for a relationship at the time. So you need to define it. Okay. I mean, this
That's
has
not a
been great.
situationship. That's a mutual agreement that we're kicking it and friends with benefits. A situationship is not when one person is not clear or both people ain't clear. That's a situationship. But that me being able to tell you that we have a mutual agreement that we ain't getting in no relationship. We just kicking it. We friends with benefits. We gonna sleep together. This was where this is going, and we not kicking the can down the road to see where it's going. We just kicking it. That's clarity. Anything with clarity is not a situationship.
Okay.
That's not what Fabulous said. That's a
So,
situation.
wait, hold on. So Paris says, I feel like often men are more dramatic than I am. I am low key and something provoking me is a turn on. Why do they do this? So that's for the men.
I mean,
Can you
I'm not
repeat
clear
that?
on what she means by
Yeah.
provoking her or why, or you know what I mean, what her take is on that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, I don't know what she means.
All right. So we need a little more clarity for the men, Paris, to understand what you're asking. She said, I feel like more often. So, okay. I am low key and something, maybe
Same thing.
because she's quiet or I don't know. But until we get clarity, we have Will. Let's see what Will Parker says. He says, I believe what Trey said is definitive and clear, but in order to reach her decision, you must be listening to what your partner is actually saying and not hearing what you want to hear. And I think that's what happens a lot.
Yep.
So Paris says, frustrating her.
Hmm?
So they think by frustrating her, it'll turn, I guess, be a turn on. And Jacqueline said, Mr. Tony is my kind of guy. We share a lot when it comes to the pearls shared by our mothers and grandmothers.
There you go, Tony.
Yes, I'm
You're
telling
gonna
you.
turn this into a dating show.
Okay. Well, my mother
You know,
used to say. Well, my mother used to say either shit or get off the pot, and that's where I'm at now.
Okay.
I'm like,
Okay.
that's it. We're at like I don't know if everybody here is over 50 and I'm 56 years old. Like listen, everything still work on me right now. I don't know how long it's gonna be working. So I ain't got time to be playing around. Let's get this getting. Let's make this
I know it's
happen.
really
You know what I'm saying?
but
We at a
just so
certain
you guys,
age in life right now.
just so you
Okay.
guys
Well,
know, I'll be 60 years old this Thursday. It'll be the big 6-0.
oh, well, happy
Yeah,
birthday. Or early
yeah.
birthday.
Perfect. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, ain't nobody got time to be playing at this age, this big old age. What we doing here? What is we doing?
And I think those are valid questions. I want to say this has been a great conversation. I feel like this hour has gone like this really, really quickly. But I do want to say, as we wrap up tonight, so people are saying happy birthday to you in the chat,
Yes.
Tony.
Happy birthday to you. I'm sorry.
Okay. If I could sing, I would. And Lady Dawn B is not here because she's the singer.
Yes.
As we wrap up tonight's conversation, here are some takeaways. If it costs you your peace, your confidence, and your self-worth, is too expensive. A relationship offers clarity, a situationship offers convenience, and you deserve more than almost, maybe, or someday. Don't be afraid to ask the hard questions, to set boundaries, or walk away when the answer isn't aligned to what you want. Choosing yourself is not selfish, it's necessary. So until next time, remember, clarity is love, confusion is a choice, and peace is the goal. Thank you
Amen.
for sharing Mondays Beyond the Mic with us, and we'll see you next week.
Good night,
Bye.
everybody.
Whew. Sorry about that, Mom.
All I do is try to construe